After 2 phenomenal years with Fnatic, I'm excited to announce that today I'm joining Tribe Gaming. I've known their guys since the beginning of CR, and I've played with Pat in front of 100,000 people live at King's Cup. Their resources and staff are absolutely unbelievable, and I have no doubt that they're going to help me take my content to the next level. There's a ton of plans that we're working on right now, and I'm so excited to bring you guys even better content soon. If there's anything that you guys want to see, make sure to let me know down below in the comment section, and I'll be reading every comment on today's video. And I just want to say, no matter what, if you're watching this video right now, I appreciate you. When I started my YouTube channel 3 years ago, I was just trying to have fun, and I honestly had no idea that any of this would be possible. Whenever I see your guys' good vibes in the comments section or support on Twitter or Instagram, it motivates me to do better and produce better content for you guys and always keep up the daily uploads. So seriously, thank you guys. I really wouldn't have been able to do this without you. Hey, what's up guys? It's Jake aka Tag, and today we're back at it again with a mirror deck inside of Clash Royale that actually works. This mirror Goblin Giant Sparky deck has consistently found success in the top 200 ladder. If you ever play against a Ram Rider, a Hog Rider, or any beatdown deck, you can just destroy everything with the Sparky and the Mini P.E.K.K.A. And if your opponent feels that they outcycle your Mini P.E.K.K.A. and then they start to spam their tank at the river, you just mirror it again and they are so sad. And if you play against bait decks, you're gonna have the arrows, log, and 3 spells with the mirror. Another thing that I found really cool is a lot of times when your opponent has a balloon deck, they're gonna be snowballing or zapping your bats. And that gives you potential to mirror them again, and they just can't counter it. And when you're counter pushing with a Goblin Giant and mirrored level 10 bats, they do not die to an Ice Golem. So let's go jump straight into some games and assert some dominance with the best mirror deck in Clash Royale right now. And if you're not already, you can support me in the shop by using code SirTag. We're gonna sauce out a log and we're gonna see what's up. This man is cycling nothing, so hopefully we can bait out something with that log. And then we see an Ice Golem. So I'm just gonna go log again. I'm gonna keep my arrows because we're gonna be able to go and kill his archers if he's gonna have a 2.9 deck. Oh my gosh, maybe it's gonna be 2.6 Hog Rider. Huh, I haven't seen that in a while. I guess it's pretty common on ladder, but it's not really common in the top of GCs or anything like that, man. People don't play it that often at all. Okay, so he's gonna have poison. Dude, I have no idea what you have poison and a musketeer and Ice Golem deck. Is this a weird graveyard deck? It could be a very odd graveyard deck with like Bomb Tower and Night Witch. That's what I'm thinking right now, but I haven't seen this in seasons, man. This has been a long time coming since I've seen this deck. So we're going to try to log everything back, and then we're going to want to arrow as soon as the bats pop. So we want to arrow everything together here. So we eliminate maximum amount of damage there. But in this matchup against Graveyard, Bomb Tower, Skeletons, Musketeer, Night Witch, we're going to have a difficult time breaking through if he's very good at cycling his Skeletons on top of our Sparky and surrounding it. So in most situations, I feel like I might have to go for preemptive logs to eliminate them. Anyway, I'm going to go in for a Sparky right now and go in the same lane that he's probably going to cycle something. He cycles a Musketeer right into us. That's exactly what we wanted to see. So we get a free Musketeer that is 4 elixir down the drain for the Dark Alliance. So hopefully, what I'm thinking here is I can go in for a Goblin Giant and then Musketeer to go and snipe this. So we want to go for a Musketeer to go and snipe that Bomb Tower as soon as possible. Skeletons are coming down. That's A-okay. We can't really do too much else. I just need to conserve elixir and get ready for the next big push. So I want to win the bridge battle so he's not able to effectively go in for a graveyard here. That's what I'm hoping for. So if I'm able to Mini P.E.K.K.A. and kill his Musketeer, that's what we want. We really want him to spam at the river. Yeah, so he's spamming in the river right into us. We can go for a Goblin Giant. He's going to lose this because we have a bigger tank. He's got Ice Golem. Well, we have a Goblin Giant. Undoubtedly a better interaction for me, my dude. And now I can start to really make big things happen. Because this Musketeer is going to die to a log if he elects to go in. And that will be fine, man. So he's going to go in. Muskie will die. We can go in for a Musketeer of our own. And now he's left with no tank and no Musketeer to counter push with. And then his poison, it also doesn't do anything for him. So that's good. I can go in for a Mini P.E.K.K.A. And we can start to really make a huge push. Because we have a Sparky counter pushing for us. We can start to potentially go in for mirror arrows, which will kill the Musketeer. I'm thinking of doing that just because I want the Musketeer to die, and I can also do damage to the bats of the Night Witch and potentially kill Skeletons for even more value. And that will walk with a W. GG, well played, and peace out. Despite us not having poison for your graveyard we still asserted dominance on you, kind sir. It was a pleasure playing against you, and good luck in the rest of your grand challenge. We're gonna go in for a musketeer on defense because this guy's gonna go in for a barbarian barrel, and we have the bats plus mirror. So if he likes to go blue in opposite lane, we sauce out the bats, and if he zaps the bats, well, we got another cycle. So I feel very comfortable cycling my musketeer with this deck when I traditionally wouldn't with other decks just to deny a simple barbarian barrel. I would have just eaten that like a snack in situations where I have like no other answer besides musketeer to a balloon. So we're gonna see what he's gonna have. Usually when we say Mega Knight plus a musketeer, it's gonna be that wall breaker deck that we see every single game now. So hopefully we can assert dominance all over it. Yeah, there it is. So I'm going to go for a log just to knock back the miner, kill it a little bit quicker, and destroy those wall breakers without any damage. If we kill the musketeer and keep the Sparky alive, maybe he's going to panic and drop something. That feels good, man. All right. Well, unfortunately, he didn't drop like something that we could just hit with the Sparky, but the bar barrel was a pretty good thing for him because it also extended far enough to hit our tower. Could have been slightly better for us, but as this game scales and as it goes later and later, into triple and double elixir, we have a matchup advantage because we have Mini P.E.K.K.A to destroy his Mega Knight. So I'm very excited for this. I want to go in for a Sparky in the back in the same lane, and then if he goes in for a Mega Knight, we can just go and kite it the opposite lane with the Goblin Giant. So I'm excited to see what he wants to do here. If he just wants to do that, we can arrow everything. So I'm excited to do that. Shut down those wall breakers, hit the miner as well. If you guys are not already doing that, even if they drop the mine in their back, do not feel like you only can arrow on top of the wall breakers. You can hit everything with arrows, and you're not going to sacrifice anything. It's not like he got an extraordinary amount of value from one of the wall breakers connecting to our tower. The wall breakers all died to the arrows still, even though I dropped them further back and I dropped them at a later time. So still in time. I have to Mini P.E.K.K.A on top of... Okay. Well, the Mini P.E.K.K.A still needs to come down to destroy the miner, so it was fine. I was like, yo, if he goes in for a zap and resets and has a 1 HP Mega Knight on top of my tower, I don't know what I want to do then. I would just be sad. So we have to go for a Sparky so then the bandit doesn't dash on us. Usually the musketeer on the left-hand side will turn around and also hit the wall breaker there. So that was really well played on his side, but it's totally acceptable for me. So I can eat a... Ooh, I can't eat that, actually. I need to go in for a Goblin Giant. I thought I could eat all of it, but we're in a bad spot now. It's going to be a lot of damage. We're still up, but, man, that's a bit risky. This is a sticky situation for sure, my dudes. So, Sparky should be able to destroy this musketeer, so I just want to go and slow roll our own muskie since I don't have Goblin Giant to throw it in front. I just want to make another big push here. Start another Sparky. He's probably going to Mega Knight. Still don't have my Goblin Giant. So we have double Sparkies with the potential of a third one on the map, and... looks like I want to go for a double Mini P.E.K.K.A. So notice how I cycled Mini P.E.K.K.A, and then I was able to mirror another one so then we could protect our Sparky. That's the power of mirror. Not many other decks would be able to defend against a Mega Knight and still force out elixir from our opponent, but this deck can. So he's probably going to go in for a zap, so I don't want to go drop our bats just yet. I want to go for arrows on top of his bats to eliminate them, and we want to get more damage now with our bats. I'm going to save my log just in case this dude wants to go in for wall breakers on the other side. But I don't think he's going to right now. I think he's just preoccupied, really hardcore preoccupied. I'm going to go in for a Sparky now, and we want to go in for a Mini P.E.K.K.A on top of the miner if he drops it. If he drops miner and then he goes in for wall breakers, we'll be fine. I think that if we get away with a Goblin Giant and have the Mega Knight walk towards us, that's really ideal. He's going to zap, so that's a huge overcommitment. So now I'm able to go in for a Mini P.E.K.K.A, and we can make a huge push out of this one, Chief. So I'm going to go in for Musketeer. I expect him to probably want to go in for more spam here. Unfortunately, that bandit, man, sliver of HP just did me dirty. But I can go for another Musketeer, protect our lower HP tower. It's really important that we're starting Sparkies on that side, opposed to the other one. I don't even think he wants to cycle wall breakers. Yeah, he's committed to the left-hand side. He's like, yo, I want to get damage. I want to get it on the side that I already have damage. So mirrored arrows does kill Musketeer, if you didn't know already, but I'm not sure if I want to do that just yet. All right, we definitely do. We want to destroy the Musketeer and then also kill the bats if possible. That'd be ideal. Muskies are still alive. He's going to Mega Knight, so I need to go in for a Sparky. And I'm trying to get chip damage to the point that if he cycles a miner on me, we will win the game because the miner will not be able to catch up to the amount of damage that we have already. So
So when I go and cycle a log, we're going to cycle our arrows, and I want to cycle another arrows here just to get even more chip damage. Also, if we kill the bandit and get the spear goblins on top of the tower, we will win the game. So one spear goblin, we will win this game as long as I cycle one more spell. Come on, baby. We're going to cycle the log of justice. All we need is a little bit of damage and a little bit of love. The log's rolling in, the wall breakers are rolling in, and we walk away with the W. That's what I'm talking about. That is a clean victory at the very end, and that felt so dang good, dude. I'm going to sauce out a log here. We're going to see what's up. We're going to see what's good. This guy is just going to go cycle bats. Those die to my tower. If he doesn't cycle anything else, we're not going to spend elixir. Unfortunately, he's going to go for spear goblins. So this is looking like it's going to be an interesting deck, my dude. I have to go in for a mirrored arrows to finish off the goblin gang. Otherwise, we are going to be forcefully taking way too much damage that I'm uncomfortable with. We should be up elixir in the overall interactions, but we're definitely down tower damage. And he's going to go for a mortar. Wow, this is going to be really good for us. So if he's going to cycle mortar like that, what I can do is I can goblin giant. Now he won't have a tank for this, guys. He will not have a way of pulling it to the middle and tanking the goblin giant damage on top of all the bait cards. So I can go for bats. We can start to spam him and see how well this works for us. He's going to fireball. I want to go for a preemptive arrows because it's going to be able to cover the Sparky as well and eliminate anything in the middle. Man, the Sparky should get a shot off, and that was clean, baby. That's what I'm talking about. When your opponent overcommits with bait decks, especially when you have arrows, mirror, and then log, you're able to arrow. Then if you drop your log, and then they're like, wait, there's no way this guy has the triple small spell. You hit him up with the triple small spell, crush their dreams of winning the game, and make them incorrigibly sad. So I love doing that. I know I'm a bad person making people sad at this game, but it's very, very fun. We have a great matchup here, especially when he cycles a mortar like that. That's what we want to see more so than anything. Another thing that I want to do, it's weird, but I actually like letting the mortar connect to our tower, or Expo connect to our tower instead of it connecting to the Sparky in a lot of situations, simply because we preserve Sparky or we preserve HP on whatever defending units we are or that we have in a lot of situations, specifically with Expo more so than anything, just because you don't get counter push if you cycle your Sparky right into an Expo and then they have archers and they block and then they fireball your Sparky. You just lose. It's really, really important to consistently keep your Sparky protected if they have high damage per second, annihilating your Sparky, and then they're able to take your tower anyway. So that's why we never really want our Sparky to be targeted if we can help it. We're going to go for bats here, and we want to go for a goblin giant, and we just want to apply aggression so that he's not able to sauce out a mortar on offense. And we want to save our mini P.E.K.K.A. for any defensive purposes against the miner here. I'm going to go for a log, and I can fully expect him to go in for a miner on the right with the bats. Okay, the bats fell, so just going to miner with nothing then. We can go in for a preemptive mini P.E.K.K.A. since the musketeer was placed forward. The obvious choice was to drop the miner in the back, so it was further away from the musketeer so it wouldn't get shot at. Unfortunately for him, we predicted it. We dropped the mini pack in the back. We caught him, and we asserted dominance. GG, well played, and peace out, man. The start to that game was just so fun. This guy's going to go for a Dark Prince. Unfortunately, that is not a card you want to see when you're running Sparky. It has a shield. It's able to tank his Sparky shot for free, and it's still staying alive then. So he's going to have Fireball and Dark Prince. I wonder what this deck could possibly be. I'm thinking that it might likely be a double Prince Giant deck, probably either with Minor or Triple Spell. So we're going to have to wait and see exactly what it's going to be, but that's what I'm feeling right now. I'm going to go for arrows right on top of the Prince, and it looks like I'm probably going to have to log this as well. So we're not going to take that Prince connection. We will be able to finish it off, and we'll get 84 chip damage with that log. So we did see arrows are going to be really good for us because he's got minions. So that is one advantage that we're going to have here. If he doesn't have Zap, then I think we actually have a pretty good matchup here. So if he's going to have arrows counter for us, easy time on top of the minions, and he doesn't have Zap, and maybe he has Musketeer instead of Electro Wizard, this could be really good stuff, man. So I'm going to go in for my own Muskie here. He's going to go drop a Dark Prince, and I think he'll probably... Okay, so he does have Zap, so at least there's that for him. We can go in for a Goblin Giant, so then we can soak up all of the damage from the Mega Minion, the Dark Prince, and make sure he can never break through. So if we're able to do that, then we're able to keep the Musketeer healthy, and potentially, yeah, it's not going to get in front of the Sparky. So Sparky's going to die first, and he's not going to have to respond to that. He might just eat the Musketeer damage, but that's going to be a considerable amount of damage from the Muskie, right? So I want to go for a Mini P.E.K.K.A. right on top of his Prince, and this is where the mirror is about to shine. He might actually decide to go in, guys. He might decide to go in for a Giant at the river because our Mini P.E.K.K.A. is out of cycle. And what I could do is I could go in for a mirrored mini P.E.K.K.A. Unfortunately, it's not such the case. I'm going to be able to go in for a Sparky though, so I have multiple tank killers, so I'm fine. We're going to slow roll a Sparky, same lane as the Giant. Perfect timing for us, and that's why we cycle spells. We want to fight in the middle of the map, not on his side of the map where he's able to drop Electro Wizards off and just control the flow of his defense. We want to make it very difficult for him to defend and make it more chaotic where he can't block the Sparky shots or shut down or nullify the Sparky damage. Because if you can't nullify the Sparky damage, anything that you drop into it will admittedly just die in instants. So we're going to go in for another Goblin Giant right in front. We can go in for bats. And this is what we love to see. Keeping the Sparky alive, my dude. Going in for a Giant on the other side because he just realizes he can't do anything in this matchup. So if you ever play against a beatdown deck with Elixir Golem or a Giant or a Golem, they're going to struggle to ever break through because you're going to have mini P.E.K.K.A, you're going to have Mirror, and you're going to have a Sparky. So you can mirror two of the best, highest damage dealing units in the game to shred anyone's tank really quickly. I'm going to sauce out a Good Luck and we're going to see what's up. This guy's going to go for a Wall Breaker, so we have to go for a Musketeer, and the Musketeer is going to be able to hit both sides, so we should be A-okay. Usually when someone spams a Wall Breaker, you have to accommodate both sides at the same time, and it's very difficult to defend that. Fortunately for us, we actually had something to drop in the middle that had long range like a Musketeer. If you have Electro Wizard, it can do the same thing. Goblin Gang also. So no matter what you have, if it's split or has a long range, that is what you want to be dropping. You don't want to be dropping two individual spells. Otherwise, sometimes with this deck, I'll just eat it. Like early on, I'll eat one of them. It's really annoying then. In this matchup, I don't really want to make big plays. When I have a hand of Sparky and Goblin Giant, I really want to make sure that my opponent is cycling something into the Sparky. So that's why we decided to leak Elixir there. It's a bit better for me to do that. So he's going to go for a Miner and Minions. Really good for me because I can just go for arrows right on top. The Musketeer is going to fall, and then I can sauce out a Goblin Giant in front of it. So we net a +3 interaction on the left-hand side. We're looking at a Wall Breakers deck, so he might drop Wall Breakers on the right. We'll wait and see. If he drops anything to distract or kill our Sparky, our bats will get right on top. We can also go for a Spicy Log right on top of those goblins. So this is a really good start for us, all because I waited for him to cycle the Musketeer. And because we were patient, we got handsomely rewarded. And that's what Sparky is, guys. You wait for your opponent to cycle stuff into it, you counter push, and you win the game. It is not a deck that you make big pushes with on your own volition. You have to wait for your opponent to make misplays, you capitalize on it, and assert dominance. So we're going to go in for another Sparky here. And I think he's probably going to go for, yeah, okay. Well, I thought Minions, but he's going to go in for Wall Breakers, which we're able to arrow, which is really good for us. Able to shut down those Wall Breakers, kill the Musketeer a little bit quicker. And now he's going to probably go in for Minions because our arrows are out of cycle. I could go for Bats to preemptively guess that. And in accordance with our Goblin Giant, maybe we're going to be able to finish this off. So he's going to go for Minions when we're pretty far out of cycle. We're another couple cards out. So I can't do anything besides cycle my Musketeer here. And it looks like he's probably just going to continue to spam me. So that's the first time he's shown Bandit this game, if I remember correctly. I'm going to go for a Log just to kill that Bandit so it doesn't get a dash off. It's better than dropping the arrows. And I think we're in a really good situation. I do not want to make big plays. I'd rather just let that thing roll, go in for a Goblin Giant on defense, and save my arrows for the possibility of him going in for Wall Breakers. So if I conserve Elixir, drop the lower Elixir cost cards like the Goblin Giant as a tank, opposed to dropping a Sparky, I know that he's got Zap. I just don't want to mess around with that. If I drop my Sparky on defense and hope to try to defend, it's not the most reliable source of value. I know that it's possible to defend if I drop the Sparky in the right spot, but it's very risky. He could zap it, he could get the Mega Knight on top, my damage could be nullified, and I could lose the game. So I'd rather go for the safe bet of the lower Elixir Goblin Giant, healthier tank, drop that on defense and secure the W. What I meant by that is it is the lowest Elixir cost card for the amount of health points that you get. So the ratio from Elixir to health points is way better than the Sparky. So when I'm dropping a Goblin Giant, I get 3,796 hit points at max level. And when I drop a Sparky on defense, I'm getting less than half of that. This guy's gonna go in for an Ice Spirit, so we gotta go sauce out a Log to annihilate that, shut that down, and get 84 chip damage on the tower. So when we see Ice Golem, and we see Ice Spirit, I'm automatically assuming that this guy's going to have an Expo deck or some type of Cycle deck. Unfortunately, it's not going to be Expo. Expo is pretty easy with our deck since we got the arrows to annihilate and destroy everyone that has archers. It feels so good. So, because the balloon was able to get death damage on the remnants of our Musketeer, I wasn't able to sauce out a Goblin Giant on that side. I would have preferred to have that happen. This guy's going to have a Mega Minion, Ice Spirit, and Mini P.E.K.K.A. So Mini P.E.K.K.A. is going to be very annoying to play against. The Mega Minion, not so much. It's not that big of a deal. But I need to go for bats now because that Mini P.E.K.K.A. would get on top of our tower, and we can't have that happen. So his Mega Minion will get a couple hits on our tower, but it's totally acceptable. I'm going to have Musketeer in cycle for the balloon, and if he gets 2 hits from a Mega Minion, it's going to be around even tower damage on the left-hand side, so it doesn't really matter to me. If he wants to go balloon on this side, it'd be really nice. He wants to Fireball back our Musketeer, it doesn't matter. He wants to Snowball plus Fireball, that's way too much elixir for him to spend, and that's a hefty elixir commitment. So Musketeer plus Mini P.E.K.K.A. push on the left could actually get some serious damage here if he doesn't have a Skarmy or something. He's going to have Ice Spirit, but the Ice Spirit's not going to stop the Musketeer from locking on, and same with the Mini P.E.K.K.A. So he overextended to get that damage. He went in for a Snowball plus Balloon on top of a Musketeer that did not kill the Musketeer, and then the Musketeer was able to still counter push with a Mini P.E.K.K.A. So we were able to break through because we did a dueling aggression with the Sparky coming down on the other side. Usually when we play against people that have like Electro Dragon or something, what we like to do is we like going in for Goblin Giant plus Mini P.E.K.K.A, force out the Electro Dragon on that because it's a pretty hefty bridge spam or beatdown push that the Electro Dragon plus Tornado or Electro Dragon is needed against, and then we can Sparky on the other side in a lot of scenarios. So we don't really like making cohesive pushes all the time, and this is just one of those prime time examples. So if he decides to go in for a balloon, we will yet again go in for a Musketeer if we can. If he has no tank, that is. If he's got an Ice Golem, we're just going to sack the tower. So I'm going to go for a Mega Minion here. And yeah, actually, I don't have Musketeer in cycle because I already cycled it. So I'm going to have to just go all in on the other side. It looks like that balloon will probably be able to finish off our tower. Looks like it's going to be okay, though, if I'm able to go in for a Mini P.E.K.K.A on the right and take his right-hand side. So Sparky is still alive. It will get a shot off on the tower, and that's what I'm talking about, baby. So when we lose a tower or we take some damage, we pay it back with dividends, sir. So we're going to go in for a Goblin Giant right in front of our Sparky. We're going to keep this parade push going. We're going to keep this truck moving. And we're going to go for a Musketeer in the middle. And we're going to hold our mirrored Musketeer in case he wants to go for a balloon. So that's one of the things that I really like doing. Is I like cycling Musketeers and then holding it. Or cycling our Mini P.E.K.K.A and then holding the mirrored Mini P.E.K.K.A in case he bridge spams opposite lane. And then you have an answer to no matter what they do.